The Portland Trail Blazers have just done the unthinkable. I have never seen an NBA team ever do this before. Damian Lillard has just signed a 3-year, $42 million deal to reunite with the team he spent his first 11 years in the league with, the Portland Trail Blazers. And let me just tell you, there is an insane story behind this move. With the 6th pick in the 2012 NBA draft, the Portland Trail Blazers selected Damian Lillard. This pick was monumental in the franchise's history. Dame played for the Blazers for 11 seasons, racking up 7 All-Star appearances as well as 7 All-NBA team selections. Additionally, he led the Blazers to 8 playoff appearances during his time with the organization. He was a superstar in Portland, but that all changed on July 1st, 2023. On that day, Damian Lillard requested to be traded. Now, there is some backstory as to why he demanded this trade. The Blazers had just come off of back-to-back seasons of missing the playoffs, and the team that the Blazers had just didn't have the components to make a run in the playoffs. Because the Blazers had finished the 2023 season so badly, they had good odds in the NBA lottery and ended up with the 3rd overall pick. Dame wanted the Blazers to trade that pick in return for a player that could help the team make a run in the playoffs. Unfortunately for Dame, they didn't end up trading that pick. Dame wanted to win now and didn't want to play for a team that was trying to build for the future instead of trying to win now. When Dame announced that he wanted to be traded, this was quite the shock to the NBA world and was very sad news to hear for most Blazer fans. The Miami Heat, LA Clippers, and Philadelphia 76ers were the 3 teams that initially appeared to have interest in pursuing a Lillard trade. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, I would really appreciate it if you subscribed and left a like. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, so I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. Alright, back to the video. Now, Dame made it quite clear that his preferred destination was the Miami Heat, but the Heat just didn't have what the Blazers wanted in return. See, because Dame was such a centerpiece of the organization, the Blazers were not about to trade him for a McDonald's Big Mac and a small fry. The Blazers needed sufficient compensation to build around in return for Lillard, who was the cornerstone of the franchise. Portland just didn't like what the Heat had to offer. Then out of nowhere, on September 27th, 2023, it was announced that Damian Lillard was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in a 3-team deal. Most fans in the NBA were truly shocked by this trade that sent Dame from the Blazers to the Bucks to pair up with Giannis. This is what the trade entailed. The Bucks received Damian Lillard. The Trailblazers received DeAndre Ayton, Toumani Camara, Drew Holiday, the Bucks' 2029 first-round pick, and 2 first-round pick swaps with the Bucks in 2028 and 2030. And then the Suns received Grayson Allen, Keon Johnson, Nasir Little, and Yusuf Nurkic. Shortly after that, the Blazers traded Drew Holiday to the Celtics in return for Malcolm Brogdon, Robert Williams, the Warriors' 2024 first-round pick, and the Celtics' 2029 unprotected first-round pick. And then during the 2024 offseason, the Blazers sent the Wizards Malcolm Brogdon, the 14th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft from the Warriors that had been traded in the Drew Holiday trade, the 2029 first-round pick from Portland, a 2028 second-round pick, and a 2030 second-round pick. In return, the Blazers got Deni Avdija. So essentially, almost everything minus the second-round picks in that trade had come directly from that Drew Holiday trade, which had come from the Dame trade. Now we'll go back to Dame's journey. Unfortunately, his 2 seasons in Milwaukee did not go as the Bucks had desired. He suffered from a torn left Achilles in the first round of the NBA playoffs this year. Seeing as he wasn't going to be playing during the 2025-2026 season, on July 7th of this year, the Milwaukee Bucks waived Damian Lillard. Now, it wasn't just as simple as just waiving him from the team. See, Dame still had 2 years and $113 million left on his contract that the Bucks were entitled to pay him. So the Bucks opted to pay him that $113 million over the span of 5 years. Essentially, the Bucks decided to remove Lillard from their roster and pay him the money they owed him over the span of 5 years. Initially, when Dame was waived by the Bucks, 2 main teams were put forward as potential destinations for Lillard. First was the Portland Trail Blazers, because it just made sense for him to come back to Portland for a short period of time while recovering from his injury because Portland was truly his home. The other team that was speculated as a potential destination was the Miami Heat. As stated previously, Dame was vocal about his desire to be traded to the Heat, so it would just make sense that he would want to go where he deeply desired to just 2 years prior. But after a few days, the Damian Lillard rumors of him heading to Portland dissolved. 2 more teams came out as frontrunners for a landing spot for Dame. Those 2 teams were the Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors. Reports came out that the Boston Celtics star, Jason Tatum, had been trying to recruit Lillard to sign with the Celtics. The other team that was discussed was the Warriors. Some people thought that Dame signing with the Golden State Warriors would be a super interesting scenario, considering that Dame and Steph are 2 of the best shooters to ever play in the NBA. Ultimately, Portland was forgotten in these discussions. Obviously, Portland had been in a rebuild phase since the Dame trade in 2023, so they were just simply on a different path compared to other NBA teams. And then out of nowhere, it was announced that Damian Lillard signed with the Portland Trail Blazers. The Blazers had money available to spend on some sort of free agent this offseason, and this is clearly their move. While there are some definite questions as to the guard rotation, considering that the Blazers now have Drew Holiday as well as Scoot Henderson, the move is a great one. Dame has announced that he will be using the 2025-2026 season for recovery from his injury, so this does allow the Blazers' young core another year to develop. I truly believe it's a win-win, because Dame is back home. Blazer fans love him and he loves Portland. While there are some questions, this is overall really great for Portland. The Blazers truly did the unthinkable. They traded their star player on a bad contract for assets and then were able to re-sign him 2 years later on an amazing contract. Essentially, in this deal overall, when you consider the components of the trades that stem from Dame that the Blazers still have, the Blazers received Danny Advia, Toumani Camara, Robert Williams, picks, and then they just signed back Lillard. Whereas, the Bucks received Dame for 2 years and then get to pay his contract for 7 years. Truly remarkable. We are now nearing the end of this clutch combo with Caleb. I would love to end this video with a Bible verse. Psalm 86:15. But you, Lord, are a compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness. I hope you have an amazing and blessed day today. The best is yet to come, and I'll see you on the next Clutch Combo with Caleb.